How about you, David? With your son, did any surprises you felt? First, I want to commend you, Dylan. I mean, for you to go with three over the hill, no, three guys, three men. You're a very brave man. You're very brave and wise, because older guys sometimes have some experiences that you put the guys together, you have 150 years or whatever they all are, and you probably have a good chance of learning something and growing through that. Yeah. David, how about you? Your feeling?
Well said, Paul. As kids, when I was a kid, my father and his friends were Methuselah. They were ancient. They were Moses and Jesus, and all rolled into one, and untouchable, wonderful, brilliant men, but I didn't want to have anything to do with them. Not so much my father, of course, but these other men. They were good men, but they were very standoffish. They were Mr. Smith and Mr. Jones. Mm-hmm. They weren't Joe and George. So I was fortunate that Dylan was always around that kind of environment growing up, that there was a lot of Joes and Georges who would walk in here, including you, somebody who he related to from a very early age. There was a very different kind of relationship, father, son, or older generation, younger generation. When we got on the plane to Peru, I think Dylan hit the nail on the head. Something happened that it's like you're on vacation. I mean, even though it wasn't strict vacation, it was because a lot of this really was about bringing awareness to the fathering forum. The father-son relationship morphed to a great degree into peer-to-peer relationship. I'm still his father. I'm always going to be his father. There's a certain relationship that it's a relationship that will never go away. But being able, the thing I remember the most. I mean, there was a lot of incredible memories, but the thing I will never let go of is getting into the tent. Nightfall starts at 7:00 in the Andes, and there's nothing to do, other than just zip up the tent and go to sleep. But in that 1 hour, 30 minutes to an hour of lying in there in a dark tent and just being able to talk about life with my son, it was like those are priceless memories.
I would imagine so.
Yeah.
I would imagine so. You do it again, Dylan?
Yeah, absolutely. But it's also one of those experiences that are kind of like a dream that you feel like you can't go back to, because you know that you'll have a very different experience going back. The land's going to be there, but the people that you go with, you meet, I think those are the things that make a trip very unique. So that's something that you can't really relive. Of course I'd go back, but it would be apples and oranges, even though I'm in the same place.
Maybe a different location.
A different location, of course, yeah.
Of course. All right. Well, of course is good. David, you do it again. Go traveling with your son.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the spontaneity of this particular trip. I mean, we knew we were going to go to Lima. We were going to go to Arequipa. We were going to go to Cusco and Machu Picchu. But it was within each spot. It was the spontaneity that really brought magic to the whole experience. Can't relive spontaneity. So, but
you can't plan spontaneity too.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it. Yeah, when you have these spontaneous experiences, that kind of diminishes any expectation you have going into it, and that's what kind of makes it more special, because it's some level of excitement that you can't think about going into, and it's those like spontaneous moments that like kind of jolt you with excitement and like passion for a certain trip.
No, you both are well-spoken, wise men, and kind and loving guys. I mean, it's a big honor for Good News to get some moments to share, both of you, with our audience. I'm going to ask you two last questions, all right? And I thank you so much. The first one is, what is good news for you? What's good news? What would be good news for you? In any aspect of your life, business, personal.
Good news? kind of overcoming a certain obstacle that I've tried to accomplish. It can be something that's something that I can control, overcoming an obstacle, a challenge, and the good news could be something that I can't control that became a benefit in my life.
Can you be specific? Like, is there something that's occurred that's good news for you?
Something that I can control, getting a great job that I've always wanted, getting a promotion in the job, something that I can't control. Something happens something fortunate happens to a friend or family member. That's like because they're a very important part of my life as well. So that's something that you can't control. That is good news as well.
Brilliant. David?
Yeah, for me, things change as I got older, and what may have really motivated me 30 or 40 years ago isn't the great motivation that it is anymore. And so for me, good news is watching my children, Dylan, watching Sophie grow into successful adults, and that's a day-to-day, moment-to-moment bit of good news. I'm so in love with seeing the little sparks, of life. That doesn't have to be something momentous. It's like, boy, that was a brilliant thing she said, or just a wonderful action he took. That's good news for me.
Our last question, David, you're aware that, and Dylan, you might know, that we have our involvement with the International Day of Peace,
Yes.
World Peace, September 21st. And we're working hard to have a party on that day, and David's a caterer par excellence, and love him to cater the whole world. You can do that job, right?
Oh, of course.
All right, so so peace is our
Day of Peace, you say?
a Day of Peace. International Day of Peace is September 21st, as declared by the United Nations, 193 countries. And we've been creating little human peace signs and then promoting the fact that there is a day for world peace, that these countries in the United Nations agreed to a global truce, put down the arms, do practical acts of kindness and peacefulness. And so I've asked many people, what does peace mean to them? And so I'm going to ask, what does peace mean to you? And I'm going to start off with you, David, and we're going to end this with the youth of our future generations, with Dylan.
Yeah, thanks. Obviously, with all that's going on in the news right now, it's something that is in one way, shape, or form forming the global conversation. It's like, how do we live with one another? Peace to me is letting others be who they are, without condemnation, without judging, without ridicule, without harming them in any way. Just letting people be who they are is peace.
And Dylan?
Yeah, peace is for me, I guess, a sense of global community where wherever you go, you don't immediately judge somebody because of their race, religion, background, but getting to know someone's character and respecting everyone's differences without ridicule and judgment, as my dad said, and having that free-spirited and open-mindedness to appreciate why someone else is different from you.
You guys are brilliant, and brilliant in understanding of life, and that's probably one of the most difficult. We can read a lot of books and learn a lot of facts, but the sensitivity of humanity, which is what I feel you both have, is really wonderful. So I want to thank you both for taking some time to speak with us here in Good News and our Peace Day events and our long-term, continued, lifetime friendship.
Great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Paul.
Okay, thanks.